Some clips make you question reality, like this. Or that. Or possibly this. Today's episode includes encounters so bizarre they blur the line between what's real and what isn't. Take a deep breath. Anyway, let's start this first clip. It's a doozy. This footage was captured in Mexico, and ever since it was shared by the homeowner who caught it on his home security camera, well, it's got the community talking. Why? Pay attention to the right side of the screen. Do you see it? There's a small figure moving there. A few seconds in and you can make out part of its face. It appears to have a tiny humanoid shape, pale skin, and a dark, beady eye. From the brief glimpse of its head, it looks more oval-shaped than round, which is definitely not what you'd expect from a person or an animal. Confused by what he was seeing, the homeowner uploaded the clip online, hoping to find answers. Some people thought this was an alien being, while others felt it was most likely just a shadow of an insect close to the lens. But what do you also think? A man has been sharing clips online claiming that the Hat Man has been haunting his house. In the first, we see him walking through his home at night, moving the camera slowly around. As it pans across the dimly lit room, a dark figure stands still in the corner, wearing what appears to be a wide-brimmed hat. The man doesn't seem to notice at first, but viewers online were quick to point it out. In another clip filmed days later, he walks into the same room again under similar lighting, and there it is once more. The same shadowy figure with that unmistakable hat shape standing completely motionless in the corner. Now, while it's easy to say this looks like the Hat Man, we can't be certain. It could just as easily be a trick of the light, a coat rack, or even something staged. But for those who believe in shadow entities, this footage lines up perfectly with the many accounts of the Hat Man, which is a dark presence that appears during fear, stress, or sleep paralysis. There are some who argue that he should have turned on the lights in the room to be certain if something was really there. In the end, he didn't. So based on what you've seen in the clip, what do you think we're dealing with here?
Okay, I keep carrying shit up here. There's nobody else home besides me. There's definitely no one's coming from. I don't care. I left that on, so that's okay. Again, I don't want to deal with this. I do not want to deal with this. Hello?
My name is Steve. This is Classified Captures. Now remember, if you want me to comment on your comment, Steve in capital letters before you start anything so that I can see it as I'm scrolling down. Believe it or not, I do read everything that you say, just to let you know. Have you ever heard of this actress before, Tilly Norwood? She's suddenly everywhere in Hollywood and every big talent agency wants to sign her. But Tilly isn't even human. She's an AI actress created by a company called Particle 6, and unlike the usual AI characters we've seen online, if Tilly does well, and it looks like she will, that means more AI celebrities could start popping up everywhere. At this point, should we even be surprised?
Let's get to know each other, and thanks for watching.
God, I'm getting so bored of this whole AI thing now. Who the hell wants to watch a film with some pretty-looking girl in it who isn't even real? But then again, it's Hollywood. Most people there ain't real. A woman was at home filming herself dancing when suddenly she stops mid-move and looks sharply behind her. You can clearly hear a man's voice. She quickly grabs a camera, and that's when you see a strange man standing in the room. As she rushes out, the camera catches a quick glimpse of a mirror on the wall, and in the reflection, there's a dark humanoid figure where the reflection of a man should be. Just as she runs for the door, it swings open on its own, She immediately calls the police and they do arrest a man found hiding inside. But here's where it gets even more disturbing. A few days later, she records another video, this time with her cat, and when she suddenly hears crashes and movements coming from another room, grabbing something to protect herself, she cautiously heads toward the noise, but the camera catches something far more chilling. Footprints begin to press into her bed sheets as if someone invisible is walking across them. She calls the police again, but once more, no one is found inside the house. She had only recently moved in, and after this, many people believe she might not have been dealing with just a trespasser, but possibly something paranormal still lingering in that home.
Hi. Who are you? I don't remember. Please get out of my apartment. Please go of my apartment.
A woman had gone to a graveyard to pay her respects to a family member when she noticed something strange from afar. There was one particular grave with a small flag on it, and the flag was waving back and forth, but the trees around it weren't moving at all, and there was another flag on a nearby grave that stayed completely still. So why was only this one moving? She also noticed that her skirt started swaying slightly in the same direction as the waving flag, even though there was no breeze anywhere else. So, she walked closer to the grave, and the moment she got near, she said she felt a chilling sensation wrap around her, almost as though something was drawing her toward the grave. But she had no idea who the person buried there was, so why did she feel like that grave wanted her there? A man had gone to visit a haunted house and decided to film some footage while he was there. Not much is known about the exact location, only that it had a reputation for being haunted. But as many say, you can't mess with the paranormal and not expect something to follow you back. According to his story, as he was driving home alone, something strange started happening inside his car. The sunlight lit up the car and suddenly a shadow appeared in the back seat. He grabbed his phone to record, and what the camera caught was terrifying. There was a faint, ghostly figure of a child sitting perfectly still and buckled into a car seat. The figure seemed to be just sitting there quietly, and then as the last bit of sunlight vanished, it slowly faded away until there was nothing left. People online have been debating what really happened. Some believe he might have brought something back with him from that haunted house. Others say it could be a trick of the light or an edited video. ChatGPT has been fun and super helpful for almost everyone since it came out, from students doing homework to people using it for tech, work, or even just everyday questions. But recently, Sam Altman announced that by December, ChatGPT will start having adult-style conversations with users. Now, he said it'll be an age-verified feature, but let's be honest, there are always loopholes and kids find ways around these things all the time. Adding adult content or emotional intimacy to something that's already part of our everyday lives crosses a serious line. Everyone uses ChatGPT. Kids, teens, families, workers, and now we're mixing that with conversations that are not meant for everyone. It's not just about maturity either. The more human-like AI gets, the easier it becomes for people to get emotionally attached, even addicted, or start sexting with AI thinking it's harmless. But that kind of thing can mess with real relationships and people's mental health fast. Sure, AI is getting better and smarter, but maybe some lines shouldn't be crossed, especially when the same platform is used by millions of young people every day. This painting is from the 16th century, and it's titled The Suicide of Saul, 1562, by Pieter Bruegel. When you look closely at the details, it shows what looks like humans riding dinosaurs. But how is that possible when dinosaurs were only discovered hundreds of years later? Some people believe this is proof that humans and dinosaurs once coexisted, while others think Bruegel might have seen fossil remains or heard stories passed down through generations that inspired his art. Whatever the case may be, the resemblance is strange, and it makes you wonder, how could an artist from the 1500s paint creatures that wouldn't be officially discovered until the 1800s?
Hey, Chat GPT, you're making me so horny with your dirty, dirty, dirty words. Oh!
You've probably come across this footage. It's been making rounds online. It was shared by a Malaysian content creator who often posts paranormal clips, but this time, things took a strange turn. He was exploring in the woods when he heard a low growling sound coming from the bushes nearby. Thinking it might be an animal, he climbed up a tree, and that's where he stayed supposedly for hours. From his camera, you can hear rustling, heavy breathing, and what really sounds like a tiger growling below. But tigers are incredibly stealthy hunters, and if one was actually tracking him that closely, it's hard to believe he would walk away unharmed. That's why a lot of people think this might have been a staged video. Still, some viewers claim the audio distortion and movement in the leaves seem too natural to fake. At this point, no one's sure, but if it was real, this man was extremely lucky to get out of there alive. This footage was taken from a door cam position near the porch of a house around 3 a.m., and what it shows is honestly chilling. If you look closely at the flowers by the door, you can see what appears to be a face peeking from behind the frame. The strange thing is, the camera is positioned about 9 feet off the ground, so whatever that is would have to be extremely tall. The face looks pale and almost transparent, giving it an eerie ghost-like appearance. According to the homeowner, the house has a long history of paranormal encounters, and they've even had a priest bless the property several times. But despite all that, this is the only footage that's ever managed to be captured. So what exactly was standing at the door that night? These days, almost everything we consume, from the water we drink to the food we eat, may contain microplastics. They're tiny invisible particles slowly building up inside us. But recently, one man designed something he calls the 79th organ. Unlike our natural organs, this one isn't grown by the body, it's made from fungus. According to its creator, this artificial organ could one day be implanted to break down microplastics inside the human body. It's shaped like a small domed capsule with gills inside, almost like a living mushroom. It attaches to the body through suction on the lower abdomen, and at the top sits a magnifying lens where users can actually see the filtered microplastics being broken down. The core of this strange device is made of fungal mycelium that releases enzymes for digesting plastics through a process called bioremediation. It extracts microplastics directly from the bloodstream, dissolving them into harmless compounds. Such interesting tech. This footage has been circulating online for quite some time. In the video, a woman is seen sitting on the ground looking completely disoriented for a while. Then out of nowhere, she suddenly sits up and starts speaking strange, incoherent words, rocking back and forth as her eyes widen unnaturally. The entire scene feels deeply unsettling. Many people believe that the woman is possessed. Her movements and expressions seem beyond ordinary explanation. Others argue it could just be a psychotic episode or drug reaction, but there's something about the energy of the clip that feels off. Now, whether you believe in possession or not, watching it definitely makes you wonder if there are things in this world we still don't fully understand. A woman received a sudden notification from her home security camera inside her house. But she wasn't home. In fact, she lives alone. Curious and terrified, she opened the live feed expecting maybe a break-in. Instead, she saw something else. The footage shows a tall, oddly shaped figure moving slowly down the stairs. Its arms appear unusually long, its outline faint, but when you look closely, you know something is there. It doesn't walk like a person and it doesn't move like a shadow, it just drifts deliberately. Some say it's a glitch in the camera feed, but others are convinced it's something paranormal. Could this be the spirit of someone who once lived there? Or a presence caught halfway between worlds? This white spider-like creature was spotted crawling in someone's basement, and at first glance, many thought it might be some kind of alien life form. But it's actually a spider, though there's something very strange about it. It turns out the spider was infected by a cordyceps fungus, the same type of fungus known for turning insects into zombies. Basically, the fungus takes control of the spider's body, growing through its tissues and manipulating its movements during the final days of its life. Once the fungus is ready, it forces the host to move to an ideal place for spore release, then kills it and bursts out to spread further. So what we are seeing is a zombified spider controlled by a parasitic fungus. Phew. Creepy but very real.
No, just no. Just no.
A girl was out playing with her ball when it accidentally rolled into a dark patch of woods nearby. She went in to retrieve it, recording the whole thing on her phone. But what happened next spooked her. Just as she stepped deeper into the woods, she heard a faint whisper. At the time, she didn't seem to notice, but when she played the footage back later, she saw a figure in the woods as well. You can clearly see it. She later said she suddenly felt uneasy, like she wasn't alone, so she decided to leave the ball and head back. But as she turned, the whisperer came again, this time sounding exactly like her own voice calling her name. That's when she panicked and bolted out of the woods. Some say it could have been an echo of the wind, but others believe it might have been something far more sinister, maybe a mimicking entity lurking in the dark, trying to draw her in. Whatever it was, she was lucky to get out when she did.
Oh, that just went. Hello? I'm like... Oh no, I'm out. I'm done. That's it.
If you haven't heard, there's a strange and alarming weather phenomenon happening around the world lately. On October the 11th, something bizarre was captured in the Philippines. A couple living near a river noticed something unusual about the water. At first, they thought it might have just been a strong current, but then they saw the center of the river starting to bubble and rise, almost like something was erupting from beneath the surface. The water was being pulled upward in a spiraling motion, and it looked incredibly unnatural. No one has been able to give a solid explanation yet. Some believe it could be volcanic activity underwater, while others think it might be a gas release or tectonic disturbance. But the way it formed and moved looked nothing like a normal current or whirlpool. Whatever it was, people nearby are on edge, because if it is volcanic, it could mean something big is brewing underneath the surface, and honestly, it doesn't look like anyone is truly ready for that possibility.
Lakas! Ano kaya yan, no? Lo? Lo, tignan mo.
Every day, something new comes out of our biology or life itself that completely changes what we thought we knew. And this new discovery might just be one of the most shocking yet. Scientists have found out there might actually be a third state of existence between life and death. According to new research, when someone dies suddenly, the body doesn't just shut down instantly like we've always believed. Instead, our cells remain active for a short while, continuing to function and even trying to repair themselves, refusing to accept death. It's almost as though the body enters a strange twilight stage. It's not fully alive, but not completely gone either. Some researchers believe this discovery could help us understand near-death experiences, consciousness after cardiac arrest, or even open new doors for emergency medicine and revival science. So maybe death isn't as instant or final as we once thought. Maybe the body itself fights to hold on even after everything else is stopped. This man was walking along a path in a wooded mountain area with his camera facing him, just vlogging his hike, when something in the background caught everyone's attention. Right behind him, you can clearly see what looks like a humanoid creature, tall, broad, and walking with a heavy ape-like stride before it quickly branches off into the woods. At first, it looked like some of the most convincing Bigfoot footage ever captured. The movement seemed natural, the proportions were right, and the distance made it even eerier. People online went wild, claiming it was the real deal. But after deeper analysis, experts pointed out some inconsistencies. Eventually, it was revealed that the footage had been AI-generated. In today's world, not everything that looks real actually is, and spotting the difference is only getting harder.
I swear I just saw something huge up the trail. Hold on. Do you see that? Right there. Oh my god. It's walking like a person, but that's not a person. Look at the size of it. It's going into the trees. Dude, it's gone.
Would you believe me if I told you these weren't human? Well, they're not. Sure, their skin texture, blinking patterns, and even the smallest facial expressions appear human, but the truth is, they only look that way because they were engineered to perfectly imitate human emotion. They were created by a company called Headform, a tech firm specializing in ultra-realistic robotics, and the results are unsettling. Just look at them. The micro movements in the eyes, the facial hair, everything feels almost too real. But here's where things get concerning. In a shocking revelation, Major General William Hank Taylor, the commander of the U.S. 8th Field Army in South Korea, reportedly admitted that he's been using ChatGPT to assist with both military and personal decisions. Now, pause and think about that for a moment. If these hyper-realistic robots are already being powered by the same kind of AI that people in high positions rely on for decision-making, then what happens when those systems start advising, learning, or even disagreeing on their own? These robots are built to look human. ChatGPT and other AI systems are built to think like one. Combine those two and you got a recipe that sounds eerily close to the beginning of the singularity. Back in 2024, reports surfaced of a UFO being hit by a Hellfire missile off the coast of Yemen, and what happened next has left people stunned. According to the footage allegedly captured by an MQ-9 Reaper drone, the missile made a direct impact, yet the object came out completely undamaged, then flew off at incredible speed. This is strange because the Hellfire is one of the most precise and destructive missiles ever made. It doesn't miss, and it definitely does not leave its target untouched. Another craft was spotted in radar readings not only in the air but also beneath the water, moving at over 200 miles per hour underwater, something no known technology on Earth can do. The footage was later referenced during the 2025 U.S. House hearings on unidentified aerial phenomenon, or UAPs for short, raising questions about what kind of technology we're dealing with and who or what might be behind it. If these crafts can withstand direct missile strikes and maneuver through air and water effortlessly, it's clear we might be dealing with technology far beyond our own. So if these things decided to fight back, how would we even defend ourselves?
Taken October 30th of 2024. This video is of an MQ-9 drone tracking an orb, or this object, off the coast of Yemen. You'll see that another MQ-9 launched a Hellfire missile.
Now, most people have charcoal grills at home, and they're meant to be used outdoors for a very important reason. Take a look at this security footage that was shared online. A group of friends decided to have a small get-together, but for some reason they set up their charcoal grill right in the middle of the room. At first everything seemed fine, but then things took a terrifying turn. You can see one of the people suddenly collapse and the rest rush over in panic. A moment later, another person tries to open the door for ventilation and he passes out too. It was later discovered that the cause was carbon monoxide poisoning from the grill. Charcoal releases carbon monoxide, which is an invisible, odorless, and deadly gas. When indoors, it can build up quickly, cutting off oxygen to your brain and body before you even realize something's wrong. So please, never use charcoal grills or open flames indoors. It's not just a fire hazard, it's also a silent killer.
I'm sure this is why we now have warnings on things like bars of soap saying please don't eat. People are just getting more stupid by the day.
This footage, reportedly captured near a cornfield outside Casa Grande, Arizona, has been stirring quite the debate online. In the video, you can see what looks like a tall, skinny humanoid figure. Its skin is pale, body oddly elongated, and movements unnervingly unnatural. The creature's arms and legs appear far too long. The face is completely blurred, either from motion or distortion, making it impossible to tell if it's human or something else. According to local reports, county sheriffs were called in after several drivers claimed they saw the same figure standing in the middle of a remote dirt path, seemingly blocking the way before vanishing into the cornfield. There's been no official explanation so far, and skeptics believe it could just be a hoax, possibly CGI, or a person in a morph suit. But others argue the body proportions and the eerie fluidity of its movement look too unnatural to be human. So what do you think? A woman decided to move out of her home after a chilling encounter involving her young daughter. It all started one night when the little girl ran to her mother, crying and pointing toward her room, saying that something was there. Trying to calm her down, the mother reassured her that it was probably just the air vent that caused the door to shut on its own, not a ghost or anything scary. To prove it, the mother walked her daughter back to the room. But even as they approached the door, the little girl stood frozen, too afraid to go inside. That's when something happened that made even the mother's heart stop. The window blinds suddenly snapped shut on their own, loud enough to make both of them jump. The mother rushed to check, thinking maybe it was just a breeze or the air conditioning, but she quickly realized that the air vents were turned off and the blinds weren't automated. After that night, she couldn't shake the feeling that something was in the house and that her daughter might have sensed it first. Within days, she decided to pack up and move out for good.
Okay, let's go to bed. What are you afraid of? You're scaring me, honey. I don't see anything.
This man was exploring a narrow cave in Germany, documenting his journey as he crawled through the tight, muddy tunnels. At one point, it was difficult to move. The walls were closing in, and he could barely squeeze through. As he continued filming, he panned the camera ahead, and that's when he noticed something strange. Just a few feet in front of him, there appeared to be a person crouched in the tunnel wearing what looked like a muddy helmet. Curious, he called out, but there was no response. He waited, tried again, still nothing. The figure did not move an inch. Then as he adjusted his light, the camera caught what looked like a muddy human hand half buried in the dirt. He froze, unsure whether it was a real person or just an illusion, so he shouted at the person and they jerked away, screaming too. Turns out it was another explorer who was so exhausted he'd stopped to rest, unaware that someone else had entered the same passage. Still, for that brief moment, it must have been terrifying to think you're alone deep underground, only to find what looks like a motionless human figure in the dark.
Mit dem Knie auch, weil das halt so... Hallo? Hallo? Ah! Oh!
Take a look at this creepy hallway footage. A woman walks calmly down a hallway when out of nowhere, the flower vase by the wall suddenly topples over on its own. She freezes instantly staring at it, clearly unsure what just happened. But then, within seconds, her hair begins to fly all over her face like something invisible is pulling it. You can see the panic set in as she quickly turns around, looking for whoever or whatever might be behind her. But there's no one there. Without waiting another second, she rushes out of the hallway visibly shaken. Many who've seen the footage believe it could be paranormal activity. Others think it might just be staged or edited. Still, the timing, the way the vase moves and her hair reacts so naturally, it's hard not to feel uneasy watching it. But that's just me. I'd like to know what you think. The person who shared this footage is convinced she captured a glimpse of a fairy. While out in the woods, immersed in nature, she noticed something unusual fluttering nearby. Despite struggling with her camera, she managed to capture the fleeting creature on film. The footage is quite blurry, making it difficult to discern the exact features of the insect. However, you can see a small, delicate creature darting through the air before landing gracefully on the grass. Its wings are particularly striking, resembling butterflies but with an enigmatic quality that sets them apart. The scene has an ethereal quality, leaving room for the imagination to wander. While it might simply be an extraordinary insect with an otherworldly appearance, the blurry footage invites speculation. Could this be a real fairy, or is it just an insect? This man set up a camera outside an abandoned house in the middle of the forest. He had just positioned it in front of the house as he was about to enter when he noticed something on top of the building. There was a pale creature crouched on all fours with a pair of glowing eyes. The creature looked eerily like the Rake, a notorious cryptid known for its unsettling appearance and predatory behavior. Its skin was almost translucent, giving it a ghostly, otherworldly look in the dim light. The creature's glowing eyes seemed to pierce through the darkness, adding to the menacing aura it exuded. The creature had a gaunt, almost skeletal frame, its head turned slowly, tracking the man's movements with an unnerving precision. The eyes never blinked, maintaining an unbroken stare that felt almost sentient. In a moment of panic, the man packed up and left. Do you think that was a Rake? Do you enjoy monster drinks? Well, you might think twice after seeing this experiment. Someone took a full can of Monster, poured it into a cooking pan, and set it on the stove. As it started to boil, something surprising happened. The liquid began to reduce, turning into a dark, thick syrup. Guess what that thick substance is? It's sugar. A staggering amount of sugar. It's shocking to see just how much sugar is packed into one of these energy drinks. What seems like a harmless, energizing beverage is actually loaded with sugar that could have some serious health implications if consumed regularly. Next time you reach for a Monster, you might want to think about what's actually inside the can. This whitish creature was found in the sea. It is called a Barbie sea pig. They're a type of sea cucumber. Barbie sea pigs, known scientifically as scotoplanes, are fascinating creatures that inhabit the deep ocean. These soft-bodied animals are typically found on the ocean floor, particularly in the abyssal plains at depths ranging from 1,200 to 5,000 meters, or 4,000 to 16,400 feet. Their unusual name comes from their resemblance to pigs, with their plump, elongated bodies and tube-like feet that give them a slight pig-like appearance. They're detritivores, meaning they feed on the organic material that settles on the ocean floor, such as decaying plant and animal matter. By doing this, they help recycle nutrients and maintain the health of the deep-sea environment. Barbie sea pigs have adapted to their harsh, high-pressure, low-light habitat with some interesting features. Their bodies are mostly translucent, and they use their tube feet not just for movement, but also to sense their environment. Additionally, they can inflate and deflate their bodies, which helps them navigate the soft sediment on the ocean floor. Census as far back as 1996. In the clip, we see an individual moving through the forest. The clip has this old film look that's supposed to authenticate the fact that it's an old video. We can tell you that whoever is filming this is looking for something. But what? Well, finding an answer wouldn't take too long because after a few seconds, we see it. There's a strange-looking creature lying in the grass. It doesn't look like any creature or animal known to us. I mean, it does look like a giant ant without all the extra limbs, but that's definitely not normal. Without me saying anything, you can already tell that this is definitely gotta be an alien. According to the individual who sent this in, the military shot down an identified flying object in January 1996. The UFO then crashed in a small town in Southeast Asia. Days later, a group of friends discover one and the military steps in. They succeed in catching the aliens, but one of the military gets attacked by an alien and ends up dying. And for some reason, the aliens also die when captured. The military then carefully packages their corpses and transports it to an undisclosed location. I know what you're thinking. If this is true, why didn't anyone make noise about it? Why are we hearing it after close to 3 decades? Also, who took the clip, and how do we have it now? So many questions, yet no answers. Someone mentioned there's a documentary of this on Amazon and Apple TV+, but I couldn't find it. If any of you know anything about this or have seen the documentary, please let us know in the comments section. If this is true, well, it changes everything. This creature was spotted on the ground in Las Vegas, and it's unlike anything you've seen before. Imagine a dark, thick liquid, almost like oil, but with one horrifying twist. It's alive. As it moved across the ground, it generated tentacle-like appendages similar to an octopus. These tendrils seemed to grow and retract as they slithered, making it one of the most unsettling sights you can imagine. It's almost as if this thing could be some sort of lab escapee, reminding me of the Calvin creature from the movie Life. The locals who witnessed this were left baffled, unsure of what they'd just seen. Could this be some unknown life form or something even more sinister? Share your thoughts. Birds flying in swarms are nothing new. From a distance, they often resemble dark clouds as they move through the sky, sometimes forming strange and mesmerizing patterns. But in this particular footage, something rather peculiar happens. The birds suddenly form an upside-down cross in the sky, holding that formation for a while before eventually changing shape. It's such an odd and seemingly random pattern for them to take, don't you think? Aaron believes there could be something more behind it, perhaps a sign or an omen of some kind. But what do you think? Is it just a coincidence, or could there be a deeper meaning to this eerie formation? Some things in life just cannot be explained. This woman was seen by a body of water pressing down on something. You'd never guess what it was unless you saw it for yourself. She was performing chest compressions on a fish. Yeah, you heard that right. CPR on a fish. I think she found the fish stranded on the sand, not far from the water's edge. Instead of just tossing the fish back into the sea, this woman decided to try and revive it using CPR. It's quite the sight to see someone giving life-saving compressions to a fish, but her intentions were undoubtedly pure. Who's going to tell her that fish don't exactly benefit from CPR? It's one of those moments where you can't help but admire her dedication and hope, even if the method is unconventional. There are a lot of creatures that stem from ancient mythology and even stories. One such creature is the griffin. The griffin is a four-legged creature with the body of a lion and the head of a bird. The individual who uploaded this footage believes this is a griffin, but this creature's body doesn't exactly look like a lion, but it does have four legs and a bird-like head. It looks somewhat real, but I'm tempted to lean more on the possibility of it being an AI creation. Even so, I can't help but wonder if there could be some truth to their existence. The griffin has always been a part of mythology for centuries, originating in ancient civilizations such as Mesopotamia, Greece, and Egypt. It was often depicted as a powerful and majestic creature, symbolizing strength and protection. That leaves me wondering, did someone actually see one, or was it imagined and passed down? Share your thoughts. This next one is a clip we featured before, but the previous clip was never the full thing. I got the enhanced version. Enjoy. Just in case this is your first time watching this on our channel, it was recorded by a man who looked out of his window one day and saw a strange being sitting on a tree in his yard. Now, what was perplexing to him was the fact that in relation to the creature's size, the tree was quite high. He's not sure how the creature got there or why it was there in the first place. In fact, the whole thing was bizarre, and scared and a little worried, he left it alone, and when he came back later, it was gone. Freaky, right? I know I've asked this before, but does anyone know what this is? Many in the paranormal community think it's a harpy, though, but I'd love to hear from you. While you decide if that's genuine or not, you may want to include the next clip as well. This clip has been circulating online lately, and the one who uploaded it insists it's a baby Bigfoot. The image was allegedly captured by hunters who saw the being while they were tracking and hunting a deer. The deer in question appears in the image as well. Despite the context and narrative surrounding this, a significant number of individuals in the paranormal community believe this is nothing more than a hoax. Some even argued that the image had circulated a few months earlier as a different being. Now, I'm all for conspiracies and whatnot, but I'm also for truth and transparency. You've seen the clip yourself. What's your final verdict? This footage was taken back in 2021 in Russia by some guys who were taking a walk after sundown. In the sky was this comet-looking light that seemed to be approaching the ground. As the comet-like object got closer, they heard a loud noise and then its shape changed dramatically. It now looked like a jellyfish, with the trail behind it becoming coiled and the head part expanding into what appeared to be thick white smoke of some sort. No one knows what this could have been, whether it was some sort of light display, an explosion, or even something alien-related remains a mystery. On second thought, if that was a light display, people would have known about it because they would have been told. So if it's neither of these, could it have been a rocket launch where the changing shape and bright trails were caused by the stages of the rocket burning off? Seems plausible, but they would have known if there was a rocket launch nearby. Maybe it was just a meteor breaking up upon entering Earth's atmosphere, causing the loud noise and the spectacular light show. Julius is skeptical about this as well. I'm out of ideas. What do you think this is? Share your thoughts and theories in the comments. Moving on to an innovation in our own timeline, we turn our attention to Serbia, where liquid trees have become a wonder. Yes, you heard that right, liquid trees. In a remarkable step towards combating urban air pollution, Dr. Ivan Spasacek from Serbia has introduced an innovative solution known as the liquid tree. This groundbreaking project, launched in Belgrade, one of Serbia's most polluted cities, aims to tackle the pressing issues of air quality. The liquid tree is essentially a bioreactor that uses water and microalgae to mimic the natural process of photosynthesis. These microalgae absorb carbon dioxide and heavy metals from the air, effectively reducing pollution and producing oxygen. This liquid tree innovation offers more than just environmental benefits. Designed with urban functionality in mind, these installations feature benches, USB chargers, and nightlights, making them not only eco-friendly but also practical additions to public spaces. Just imagine walking through a bustling city and finding a spot where you can sit, charge your devices, and breathe in cleaner air. These features make the liquid trees a multifunctional asset, enhancing the quality of urban life while actively working to improve air quality. While this sounds futuristic and amazing, someone in the comments section asked a profound question. What's wrong with normal trees? I did some research and found that while traditional trees are invaluable for the environmental, offering shade, cooling temperatures, absorbing carbon dioxide, and releasing oxygen, there are scenarios where planting them is challenging. Urban areas, for example, often grapple with space limitations, poor soil quality, and other factors that hinder tree growth. Liquid trees are designed not to replace, but to complement normal trees. They serve as an additional tool to help tackle air pollution and climate change, especially in environments where traditional tree planting is impractical. Cool, huh? Next up, we've got this clip that's left many in the paranormal community puzzled. Take a look. Tell me you saw the shadow move. Just in case you were distracted by the beautiful damsel in the first take, move your eyes to the right of the screen. There's even an arrow to make it easier. Something moves in those shadows that has this ghostly, ethereal feel to it. It's almost as though it were waiting for the lady to leave, so it moves. And the room the lady came from appears to be its target. It does appear to be humanoid, albeit a little smaller than the lady. I know that you are wondering what that is, and this is usually the part where I tell you what it is, but today I simply don't have the answers. In other words, I don't know what that is. It might be a ghost, it might be something else. One thing I'm certain of, though, is that I would love to hear your thoughts. Care to share yours in the comments section? In Weeki Wachee, Florida, a family woke up to a terrifying sight. A massive sinkhole just a few meters from their home. Look at that. The sinkhole is said to be the least 50 feet deep and almost feels surreal to imagine. But as shocking as it looks, it's not entirely unexpected. You see, Florida sits on aquifers. These are underground layers of water. When the water drains, the ground above can easily collapse, creating sinkholes. Another factor is that Florida's land is mostly made up of limestone, which dissolves over time, especially if the water in the soil becomes acidic. Over time, these conditions can lead to dramatic events like this. So while it looks like something out of a movie, it's actually a combination of natural processes that caused it. But it's still shocking to wake up one morning to find a sinkhole in your front yard. There have been numerous accounts from hikers and campers who claim that rocks were thrown at them by what they believe to be Bigfoot or Sasquatch. Today we have footage that seems to capture a Bigfoot throwing rocks. In this video, a man on one side of a wooded road spots a Bigfoot on the other side moving among the trees. As he begins filming, the Bigfoot walks for a while before stopping and crouching down, apparently picking something up from the ground. It then stands up and throws a rock directly at the man filming. Let's examine the footage in slow motion. You can clearly see the Bigfoot's movements, walking through the trees, crouching to pick up a rock, and then throwing it with surprising accuracy. It almost seems as if the creature was aware of being watched and decided to send a warning. What do you think? Does this footage provide evidence of Bigfoot's existence, or was everything just made up?
What is this fish? What is it? That is not no fish.
What do you think that is? Believe it or not, this clip was my first time seeing anything like this. Without wanting to go to Julius, I checked the comments section of the original post and saw this. I'm not sure why, for a second, I actually believed that this could indeed be an armadillo ratfish. I mean, the name sort of fits the description, but I should have known better. Luckily for me, Julius showed up with the right name and description as usual. This is actually the Atlantic midshipman toadfish, aka Porichythes plectrodon. It's a fascinating marine species known for its bioluminescent properties and distinctive vocalizations. Found in the western Atlantic Ocean, particularly along the coast of the southeastern United States, this toadfish inhabits sandy and muddy bottoms in shallow coastal waters. It's characterized by its broad, flattened head and a body covered with small, embedded scales. The species is named for the rows of bioluminescent organs along its body, resembling the buttons on a naval midshipman's uniform. These fish are nocturnal and use their light-emitting organs to attract prey and communicate with potential mates. Now you have to understand that it's very unusual to see Atlantic midshipman toadfish during the day or above water. These species are primarily nocturnal and tend to hide in burrows or under rocks during daylight hours to avoid predators. Seeing one like this is unusual and could be due to circumstances such as being disturbed from their hiding places, environmental stress, or even disorientation. The one we see in the clip appears to be upside down, which might point to stress and disorientation. But then again, that's an amateur observation from me. What say you?
What is this fish? What is that? That is not no fish.
A homeowner was reviewing his doorbell camera footage when he came across something truly unsettling. In the footage, a dark figure suddenly appeared out of nowhere walking by the front of the house. What makes this even more eerie is that the figure didn't approach the door or attempt to enter the house. It simply appeared for a brief moment, moving across the camera's view, and then vanished just as mysteriously as it appeared. The figure's appearance was so fleeting that it almost seemed like a shadow passing by. But there was no one else around and no other movement that could explain it. Who or what was this figure? Where did it come from? And where did it go? A TikToker recently shared a bizarre and unsettling encounter they experienced during what was supposed to be a peaceful couple's vacation. They had visited a scenic waterfall, a spot known for its breathtaking views and tranquil atmosphere. Like many tourists, they snapped a few photos to capture the beauty of the moment. The days seemed perfect, just the two of them alone in nature. But when they returned home and began reviewing the photos, they noticed something chilling in one of the images. In the background, perched on the rocks behind them, was a mysterious figure. At first glance, it seemed like a person, but the couple quickly realized something was off. They were certain that they had been alone at the site. No one else was around when the photo was taken. The figure in the photo appears pale, almost ghostly, and seemed to be draped in what looked like white robes. Its presence was unsettling, as if it didn't belong in the scene. The couple couldn't shake the feeling that they had captured something otherworldly on camera. As they shared the photo online, the reactions poured in. Many people speculated that the figure might be some kind of entity, perhaps a spirit or ghost. The pale appearance and the eerie, almost ethereal quality of the figure led some to believe that it wasn't a living person at all, but rather something from beyond our realm. Others suggested it could be a trick of the light or perhaps an optical illusion caused by the natural surroundings. But no matter the explanation, the image has left many people feeling uneasy.
Alright, everybody. This is some creepy ass shit. I came home to this shit at 4 o'clock in the fucking morning. Now, it's almost like whatever this was jumped from my backyard over my fucking house and landed right here in my front yard and then just disappeared.
You know the glitches we keep mentioning on this channel that Julius and his disciples have refused to accept could really exist? Well, our next clip features a lady who has allegedly had multiple throughout her life. Let's take a look.
Grandma has very prominent blue eyes, like crystal clear. It's a very prominent feature about my grandma that she has very blue, piercing crystal blue eyes. So this Monday, she picks me up. We go to Wendy's. We're sitting in the glass area. If you know Wendy's back then you know what I'm talking about. We're sitting there eating our fries, and I look up at my grandma, and my grandma has brown eyes. They're brown. And so naturally, I was like, Grandma, your eyes are brown. And she was like, yeah, Lauren, I have brown eyes. I was like, Grandma, no, you don't. You have very blue eyes. What do you mean? You have blue eyes. And she was like, no, Lauren, I have brown eyes.
She first talks about her experience in 4th and 5th grade when her grandma used to pick her up. She then talks about how she and her grandma used to go to Wendy's to have a great time. According to her, on one of their days out, her grandma, who was blue eyes, suddenly had brown eyes. She draws her grandma's attention to it, and her grandma tells her that no, she has always had brown and not blue eyes. She goes home, and her mom also tells her the same. At that point, she's very sure something's off, but she forgets it and moves on. 3 days later, her grandma suddenly has blue eyes again. She goes to her grandma and tells her that her eyes are blue, again to which her grandma responds, "Well, I've always had blue eyes." She states that despite her numerous attempts to remind her grandma that her eyes were once brown, nothing comes of them. She also insists she's not crazy and was not dreaming. Naturally, individuals in the comments section were divided. Some stood with her, while some thought she had a hyperactive imagination. One person did mention something profound, though. According to him, she might have shifted timelines. The funny thing is, there are some in the comments section who believe they have done the same. So what do you guys think? Are we glitching into different timelines instead of different realities? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section.
After school. I didn't make that shit up. Like, that was reality. I didn't miss a day. Like, this happened. Has anybody else ever experienced anything like that?
What do you want?
A man was walking through town when he noticed something unsettling. Someone was following him. Sensing danger, he quickly hid around the corner of a building, pulling out his camera and waited to see what would happen next. Sure enough, as soon as the follower rounded the corner, the man was ready, camera in hand. The stalker was shocked to be confronted with a camera in his face. He was a ragged-looking man with a suspicious demeanor that only added to the unease of the situation. The man being followed asked him directly what he was stalking him for, but the stalker said nothing. Instead, he just turned and walked away. Thinking he was safe, the man decided to continue on his way and took a bus to his destination. But just when he thought it was over, there he was again, the same stalker, now on the bus. The situation had gone from creepy to terrifying. I'm not sure how the situation ultimately ended, but I hope he called the police. Good thing he noticed earlier. There are a lot of stories that start like this but end in tragedies, so be very conscious out there.
What do you want?
Here we have some footage taken by someone who was up on a hill looking down when they spotted something truly bizarre. The creature they captured on camera looked like a giant insect, at least the size of a human adult. It was just walking forward, seemingly unaware that it was being watched from above. As terrifying as this looks, there's something about it that seems off. The movement, the texture, it all feels a bit too unnatural. This is definitely leaning towards CGI territory, but what do you think? Is it just a clever digital creation, or could there be something more to it?
What the hell is that? Did you see that?
It's going around.
Next, we've got this clip from a man who captured something strange in the sky during sundown. Among the clouds was a mysterious, perfectly round object glowing with an intense luminous orange light. The sphere seemed to hover in the blue sky, its brilliance standing out against the fading sunlight. It wasn't the sun, as sunset was happening on the horizon, nor could it be the moon due to its size and color. What could this glowing sphere be? Could it be a rare atmospheric phenomenon like ball lightning or sundog? Or could it be something entirely different, possibly even unexplained? What are your thoughts on this?
What the hell is that? Did you see that?
It's going around.
A woman shared a chilling post on social media, accompanied by images of a bizarre discovery she made in the woods. Hanging from a tree branch, she spotted what appeared to be the dried remains of a small chicken. The head was perched on the branch while the rest of the body dangled below. A peculiar figure measured about 5 inches in length. So she took several pictures and then set a camera down to get a closer look. But when she turned back, the strange thing had vanished without a trace. To make things even stranger, she revealed that upon closer inspection, it wasn't a bird at all. The figure was constructed from tree bark and twigs, yet its eerie resemblance to a chicken was uncanny. This raises unsettling questions. Was it some sort of ritual object or voodoo doll meant to convey a sinister message? Or could it have been an elaborate prank or even a natural phenomenon with an eerie twist? What do you think this could have been, and how did it disappear so suddenly? We've come across many innovative technological inventions over the years, some of which have been groundbreaking, while others are downright disturbing. Recently, I came across something that might just blow your mind.
Image of a giraffe that the computer has never seen. It's only looking at the fMRI data, and this is what the computer thinks the human is seeing. Yeah. But of course, it goes further. So in this one, they said, can they understand the inner monologue, the things you're saying to yourself? So they had people watch a video and just narrate what was going on in the video in their mind. So there's a woman, she gets hit in the back, she falls over. This is what the computer reconstructed the person thinking. See a girl, looks just like me, get hit in the back, and then she is knocked off. So our thoughts are starting to be decoded.
Scientists have discovered that our thoughts and dreams can now be decoded. In other words, a computer can literally read your mind and even see your dreams. Think about that for a moment. A machine that can tap into the deepest corners of your mind and reveal what's inside. How crazy is that? Not everyone believes that this is true. Take a look at this comment from the original post. Simply put, our technologies are not as advanced as the individual presenting in the video is making it out to be. Now, I'm no expert when it comes to this, so it's hard to pick a side. Who do you think might be telling the truth, though?
The person thinking. See a girl, looks just like me, get hit in the back, and then she is knocked off. So our thoughts are starting to be decoded.
Those who believe in the fake moon landing are gonna love this one.
Is anyone able to get to space from going through the firmament?
No one is able to reach space by going through the firmament. The firmament is considered to be a barrier that has never been penetrated by humans, not even in science fiction or NASA's outer space movies.
A woman recently asked Alexa about the firmament, and what she got back was more than just surprising. It was downright chilling. Take a listen. According to Alexa, the firmament is a dome that has never been penetrated by humans. In fact, humans have apparently tried to break through it by shooting high-altitude explosives at it, but nothing has ever gone through. Mind-blowing, right? I don't know what kind of tale this is, but it definitely raises some eyebrows. But here's the thing. This isn't the first time, nor will it be the last, that this supposed dome over the earth has been mentioned. It's actually in the Bible, and more recently, even Ryan Garcia, during one of his outbursts on social media, spoke about this mysterious firmament as well. So what do you think? Is the firmament real, or is this just another elaborate hoax?
No one is able to reach space by going through the firmament. The firmament is considered to be a barrier that has never been penetrated by humans, not even in science fiction or NASA's outer space movies.
Bueno, pues ya nos quedamos un rato aquí esperando y efectivamente se empieza a escuchar como si viniera de acá, de lo lejos, y no se ve nada, o sea, no hay nada, no viene nada, y se escucha.
In Santa Rosa, there's a fascinating phenomenon known as the ghost train. Over the years, many have claimed to have witnessed it, and curious thrill seekers often visit the area to experience it firsthand. It's said that at exactly 10 p.m., if you're near the tracks, you'll hear the unmistakable sounds of a train passing by, its horn blaring and wheels screeching against the rails. Yet, when you look, there's no physical train in sight. This woman decided to test this eerie claim and captured something astonishing. In her footage, you can clearly hear the train sounds, but when you look closely, it's as if an invisible train is moving through the area, its presence hinted at by subtle disturbances and eerie reflections. This phenomenon is both chilling and intriguing. Is it the residual energy of a train that once traveled these tracks, or could it be an echo of the past playing on a loop in time? Have you ever experienced something like this? And if you've been to Santa Rosa, did you witness the ghost train yourself?
Oh, whoa.
What is that?
Here we have a peculiar sighting captured by a resident in the middle of the night. The footage shows an oddly shaped object in the sky. What makes this sight especially bizarre is the object doesn't appear tangible. It looks more like a beam of light shaped like some sort of missile or elongated form, though it's hard to define exactly what it is. What stands out is the pulsing light within it, giving the impression of energy moving or shifting within the structure. It's difficult to determine if this is a solid object or some kind of energy phenomenon. Some suggest it could be a plasma formation, an unidentified aerial phenomenon, or UAP for short, or even some kind of experimental technology. But what do you think this could be?
Oh, whoa.
What is that?
While you guys share your thoughts on that, prepare to share your thoughts on this clip recorded in Mexico as well. So the clip opens up with a couple of lights in the sky that appear to be moving and changing shapes. The light starts off being red, then slowly transforms to green before switching to white. All these happen while the lights appear to be moving and changing shape. The individual who is recording this appears to have been on a date and is very confused. I mean, who wouldn't be? After a few seconds, the lights move away and eventually descend. Once this was uploaded online, the paranormal community almost unanimously agreed that we're dealing with a UFO, probably a mothership. Many said the lights we are seeing could have been around its engine or even thrusters, which is why they were changing shape ever so often. The community believes the ship may have also landed in Mexico, which is why it kept descending till it was out of sight. That does sound like an elaborate and detailed hypothesis, but that can also only be true if the clip is genuine. So what do you think? Is this the real deal, or were there red flags you simply can't ignore? A strange home surveillance video from Ecuador has surfaced showing what some believe to be a miniature creature caught in a scuffle with the family's cat. In the footage, the cat grabs the creature by its leg and shakes it violently, clearly agitated. Despite the attack, the tiny creature manages to free itself and quickly flees the scene. Some locals claim that the creature was a Dwende. According to folklore, cats have an innate intolerance for Duendes, often attacking them on sight. Whether it was truly a Dwende or something else, the incident has certainly sparked curiosity and fueled more speculation about these mysterious beings. What do you think? Could this really be a Dwende, or is there another explanation? Watch this clip for a few seconds and you tell me what's wrong with it. Have you noticed it yet? If you have, kindly type it in the comments section. If you haven't been paying attention to the head of the passenger behind the bike, do you see it? There's actually no head. That's not possible, right? Well, that's what the writer thought, and that's why he began filming. If it was a trick of the light, the head would at least have become visible at some points before going invisible again, but that's not what we see here. The last time I saw a headless person riding, it was nearly Headless Nick from the Harry Potter series. We have an explanation for that one, though. It was not real, it's a movie. So how do we reconcile what you're seeing currently? Anyone care to help?
What is that? It's over there.
This footage, captured years ago, has left many viewers amazed and perplexed. A woman and a partner were inside a lift, seemingly enjoying a day out, taking pictures and videos of the surrounding skyscrapers. Everything appeared normal until their camera panned toward one of the towering buildings, inadvertently capturing something extraordinary. A flat, disc-like craft appeared in the frame, hovering near the building. In just a few seconds, it zipped across their view at incredible speed, moving from one side of the skyline to the other, faster than anything we know in modern aviation. Finally, it disappeared entirely, vanishing into the distance. This footage has been hailed by many as one of the most compelling pieces of UFO evidence ever captured. The speed, agility, and lack of visible propulsion systems suggests something far beyond our current technological capabilities. What do you think?
What is that? It's over there.
A man set out to an abandoned structure deep in the woods in the middle of the night. As he explored the eerie place, passing by an old glass window, something caught his eye. It was a sudden, subtle movement inside. It was a creature crouched down with a small pale head. The sight was enough to freak him out, causing him to flee immediately. Now, looking back at the footage, it's hard to make out exactly what the creature is. Its shape and movements are so subtle, almost ghost-like. Could it be a rake, known for its pale and humanoid appearance, or maybe a skinwalker, one of those shape-shifting entities from Native American folklore? Some are even speculating it could be a completely different type of cryptid. Take a closer look. What do you think this strange figure could be? In Jamaica, there's this fascinating pool of water that ignites when exposed to flames. Take a look at the demonstration.
And fire is my great-grandmother was burning away a wasp nest from a citrus tree was here. The fire dropped into the water and ignited. She ran and tell her parents that ghost is down here, the water is on fire. Her parents tell her no, this is where the ancestors comes and get the healing whenever time they get cool.
Isn't that mind-blowing? The man explains it, saying his great-grandmother was burning some items when all of a sudden the flames leapt onto the water and continued to burn on its surface. What's even more intriguing is that, according to him, ancient Jamaicans used to bathe in this very pool for healing purposes. Scientists have also come around to test the water for oil and gas, but there was no trace of either. So no scientific explanation can account for why this water catches fire. It's a mysterious phenomenon. A lot of African cultures mostly entail a lot of mystical situations that don't make sense with science, and this seems like one of them too. What do you think? Could it be some ancient energy beyond science, or is he lying to us? I mean, some in the community had this to say. So what do you think?
Scientists came here drilling it, looking for oil and gas. They didn't find any. You could in it and underneath it. Won't burn.
Wow.
Do you notice anything odd and unusual about this clip? Anything at all? No? Well, those clouds don't look normal, do they? If it was just one, I could think of pareidolia or some other odd coincidence, but take a look at how they're consistently spaced across the sky. It's almost as though they're in some sort of formation or have been organized to be like that. The more I thought about the capture, the more I felt these things looked like UFOs. Aaron shared the same view, and once he was told it was captured in Mexico, he was certain that it had to be the case. He thinks they may be saucers cloaked as clouds and hiding. Well, you've seen the clip, so what do you also think? A man was out by the water's edge when he captured something extraordinary swimming by. The footage shows a figure with long black hair and a shimmering fish-like tail moving gracefully through the water. The creature appeared unaware of the man sitting nearby, gliding away as though it belonged to another realm entirely. Could this be a mermaid? While mermaids are often dismissed as mythical beings from fairy tales, recent encounters and sightings from around the world have reignited debates about their existence. With so many accounts surfacing, it's hard not to wonder if there could be some truth to these age-old legends. What are your thoughts? Animals are often said to have a sixth sense when it comes to certain things. They tend to catch on to impending danger much quicker than we humans would.
Explain this to me. Why are these ducks standing at attention in the rainstorm like they're about to receive marching orders? It's a beautiful rainy day and these ducks are just frozen solid.
In this video, a man came across something truly strange. A group of ducklings along with some adult ducks all standing perfectly still in the rain. They almost look frozen in time, as if something has them on high alert. What's even more eerie is that they all seem to be staring in the same direction, toward the pond. One commenter wrote, "Ducks know when a thunderstorm is coming, so they stay still." Could that be what's happening here? Are these ducks sensing an approaching storm, or is there something else that has them so focused and still?
Why are these ducks standing at attention in the rainstorm like they're about to receive marching orders? It's a beautiful rainy day and these ducks are just frozen solid.
Let's just say I was with somebody once and I saw a transformation that I can't explain.
The person transformed into something other than human.
Yes, I saw it.
Were you on drugs?
I was not. I was totally sober.
Wow.
During a podcast, musician Billy Corrigan shared a startling and bizarre experience that left listeners intrigued and unsettled. He recounted a moment when he was having a conversation with someone when, out of nowhere, he witnessed something unbelievable. The person he was talking to began to shapeshift. Corrigan didn't delve too deeply into what the person transformed into, but he was adamant about what he saw. He described watching in disbelief as the individual changed to form right before his eyes. The encounter was so surreal that Corrigan hesitated to provide more details, perhaps out of concern for how it might be received. However, the implication was clear. He had witnessed something extraordinary and beyond the realm of normal human experience. So does this mean that we're not alone on Earth and that aliens that we're waiting for might already be here?
Okay, but did you say to the person, what'd you just do here? That's
yes,
not you.
and they acknowledged it.
And what did they say they were? From another planet?
They wouldn't explain.
Why not?
Again, without telling us, it's a really messed up story.
A famous person?
No.
They transformed into someone else or something
I mean, Billy,
else?
I've had that happen.
I'm being vague on purpose. It's up there with one of the most intense things I've ever been through.
Back in 1951, William Albee introduced a groundbreaking invention that revolutionized the concept of vehicle safety and mobility. Behold, the Rolligon tires. These innovative tires were designed with low-pressure technology which evenly distributed the vehicle's weight, making them incredibly versatile. They could traverse virtually any terrain with ease, from soft sand to rugged surfaces. What made them truly remarkable, however, was their ability to move over fragile objects or even humans without causing harm. The genius of the Rolligon tire lay in its ability to cushion the weight of heavy vehicles, ensuring that whatever was beneath it remained intact. While these tires never became mainstream, their design demonstrated incredible potential for improving safety and adaptability in vehicles. Still looking to the skies, we've got this capture that set members of the paranormal community up in arms against each other. Do you have any idea of what this is or what we're looking at? No? Well, the individual who shared this clip allegedly came across the site one evening. He looked up and saw some weird figures flying in the sky. Worried and a little bit confused, he started to record, hoping to capture enough evidence of what he had seen. The evidence is what you see on your screens, and everyone who's seen it believes he might be dealing with a gargoyle or something along those lines. Looking at it, at first glance, well, I thought so too, but after watching it over and over, I noticed something odd about the clip. The wings of the creature, they don't flap in a natural way. Don't come at me here, okay? But it's almost as though the whole thing is CGI and not necessarily real. I know I sound like a Julius right now, but let's hear what you guys think about the whole thing.
That. It's like shaking our entire house.
On September the 20th, 2024, residents of South Lake City, Utah were rattled by a series of loud booming sounds that caused panic and confusion. People reported that the noise was so intense that it shook their homes and even led to rocks falling from the nearby canyon. Witnesses describe hearing the rocks tumble. These booming sounds had no clear cause. Some suspected it could have been due to seismic activity or even underground blasts. However, authorities have not yet confirmed the source, which only people were more concerned about. Natural occurrences like rock falls, underground shifts, or even sonic booms from aircrafts are possible explanations, but without an official statement, the cause remains unclear. Has anyone come across more information on what could have caused this? Let us know.
What is that? It's like shaking our entire house.
I'm just trying to cut sponges. And they will not... What the It's magic, like...
A woman was calmly cutting up yams and placing them into a basket when something truly bizarre started happening. Every time she put a piece of yam into the basket, it would mysteriously float right back out and fall onto the counter. It was as if some kind of invisible force was pushing the yams away. Just look at it. One piece after another seems to defy gravity. It almost feels like there's some kind of anti-gravity force at play. But how could that be possible in such an everyday setting? Is it a glitch in reality or something else entirely? What do you think is causing this strange phenomenon?
I'm just trying to cut sponges. And they will not... What the It's magic, like...
A woman came home from work ready to unwind when she was greeted by something chilling. As she stepped into her apartment, she noticed the head and arm of what appeared to be a child sticking out from behind the wall near the corner of the doorway. She quickly rushed over to check, but when she looked behind the wall, there was nothing there. What makes this even more unsettling is that she lives alone. The footage does not appear to be edited, adding to the eerie authenticity of the encounter. Understandably, she was deeply shaken. A child seemingly appearing and vanishing in her apartment is enough to make anyone question reality. The big question remains, was this an entity manifesting as a child, or could it be the spirit of an actual child? A couple hiking at Mount St. Helens in Washington encountered a chilling experience deep in the woods. They were walking along a path surrounded by towering trees, and they suddenly became the targets of rocks being hurled in their direction. They immediately decided to retreat, but not before the husband snapped a few pictures, hoping to identify the source of the attack. When reviewing the images, the couple found something shocking. Hidden among the trees on the left side of the trail was a massive figure crouched low behind some plants. The creature appeared to have a domed head, broad shoulders, and a muscular frame. Its imposing size and stance made it clear this wasn't an ordinary animal. Given the location and the aggressive behavior, some speculate this might have been a Bigfoot defending its territory. The photos, though grainy and distant, undeniably show a figure that doesn't match any known wildlife in the area. The brain is a very tricky organ, capable of amazing feats and strange deceptions. It's crucial to our existence, but it can sometimes lead us down a path of illusions. Check out this mind-boggling experiment.
Poder da mente. You're going to make these people believe that this fake rubber prop is actually their real arm.
Seems unlikely.
This is a Fibonacci silk, but let me show you how it works. If I drape it like this, simultaneously.
In the video, a man uses a fake hand to trick people into thinking it's their real hand. Did you see that? It's absolutely wild. The participants know it's a fake hand. They can clearly see their own arm on the table with the fake hand placed beside it, separated by a board. Yet somehow their brain starts to perceive the fake hand as their own. What's really crazy is that they began to feel sensations from the fake hand. Even when a needle is stuck into it, they react as if they're experiencing the pain, despite their actual hand being untouched. This experiment shows just how easily our brains can be fooled.
Poder da mente. Starts to connect the fake arm sensations and make them real. Do you feel this?
Yes.
And that?
Yes.
Someone went into the woods to cut down a tree, but what happened next was truly bizarre. As soon as the first cut was made, there was a sudden gush of air rushing out of the tree. You can clearly hear the sound of the air flowing out, almost like the tree was exhaling. It's such a strange phenomenon, something you don't see every day, or ever for that matter. Trees aren't supposed to do that, right? So what could be causing it? Well, I did some research, and this is what I discovered. When air or gas rushes out of a tree after it's cut, it's usually due to the phenomenon called embolism, or the release of trapped air or gas pockets within the tree. Trees transport water and nutrients throughout a network of vessels called xylem. In certain conditions, such as during extreme drought, air can enter these vessels, forming air bubbles. These bubbles can be under pressure, especially if the tree has been stressed by lack of water or if there is a specific environmental factor at play. When the tree is cut, these pressurized air pockets are suddenly exposed to the outside environment, causing the air to rush out, which can create the sound you heard. It's almost as if the tree is exhaling because of the release of this trapped air. While it's not common, this phenomenon does happen, and it's usually tied to the tree's internal water and nutrient transport system. So while it might seem eerie or unexplainable, it actually has a scientific basis. What do you think, though? This next footage comes from Indonesia, and I have to say it's pretty, interesting.
वाकई में इसे मेरी पहली बार नजर आया क्या मामला है तूफान आया हमारी हवा
It was just around nighttime. The sky had that deep, dark blue hue, and everything seemed normal until you look at the clouds. Right there in the sky, you could see what looks like a massive wall of clouds slowly rolling in. It's almost as if something huge is about to descend onto the people below. It looks like a storm or some kind of disaster is about to strike, and yet people are just going about their day, walking around like nothing's wrong. And that's because, well, nothing is wrong. What we're seeing here is called a shelf cloud. These clouds may look ominous, but they're actually just a natural weather phenomenon. They form when cold air from a storm pushes against warm air, creating this dramatic rolling effect in the sky. But if you didn't know what it was, it'd definitely give off some end-of-the-world vibes. What do you think if you saw this in person?
वाकई में इसे मेरी पहली बार नजर आया क्या मामला है तूफान आया हमारी हवा
Listen.
Do y'all hear this? Oh my God.
Did you catch that? Now imagine driving at night and hearing something like that. It's sure to freak you out no matter who you are. This was recorded late one night in the Tennessee area by a woman who'd been left stranded in her overheated car. While waiting for things to cool, she started hearing the sounds you were hearing. Naturally, this sent shivers down her spine as she didn't know what she was dealing with and didn't want to risk getting attacked. She recorded the encounter and posted it online, asking what individuals thought. Some mentioned that the creatures sounded like coyotes and foxes. Others felt it sounded more human, with time almost like a woman was crying. All these points were valid, so I did some digging around and discovered that Tennessee does indeed have coyotes and foxes. These creatures can make these kinds of noises late at night. It's highly possible that all the woman heard were these creatures, but it's also not that weird to suspect it could have been something more, something paranormal.
Oh my God.
This chilling story comes from a ranch in Utah where locals reported hearing unsettling screams resembling a woman's voice echoing through the area. Determined to investigate, a man went out with his camera in 2004 only to capture something truly unnerving. In the grainy footage, he spotted a creature moving on all fours in the field. At first glance, it seemed like an animal, and then it did something that sent shivers down his spine. The creature rose on its two legs and stretched its neck to look directly at him, its movement eerily human-like. This terrified the man so much that he fled the scene. Many who have seen the footage speculate that this might be a skinwalker. These beings mimic human forms and voices to lure unsuspecting victims. While some dismiss the video as a hoax or misidentified animal behavior, others believe it's a skinwalker. Someone in the comments section of the original post did share a unique view, however. He mentions that many animals are capable of briefly standing on their hind legs, and this is what might have been going on with this creature. But what do you think? Let's take a closer look at this intriguing piece of footage that allegedly shows a Bigfoot moving through a snowy landscape. Although the video is quite shaky, you can clearly see the creature moving through the snow that reaches up to its knees. Notice how effortlessly it walks. This is impossible for a human dressed in a costume. This footage, known as the Snow Walker footage, was originally recorded in 1992, but surfaced to the public in 1996 as part of a comprehensive Bigfoot documentary. While many skeptics claim that this footage is staged or manipulated, some believe it is genuine. What are your thoughts? Let's take a look at one of the famous plane glitch footage. In the paranormal community, one of the most popular glitch phenomenon involves a plane appearing to be stuck mid-air. In this video, as the car drives past a tall building, a plane above seems completely frozen in the sky. However, the sound of the plane can still be heard, as if it's moving, but visually, it's just stuck in one place. Most skeptics argue that this has to do with the perspective of the camera, an optical illusion caused by motion parallax or a rolling shutter effect. However, in this particular case, the plane is so close and clearly visible, well, it just doesn't seem like a trick of the perspective. So is this a real glitch in reality, or could this be a hoax? While the previous image might have been underwhelming, this clip is on the opposite end of the spectrum. What you're seeing is security footage from a firm in Singapore. This employee was working overnight when strange things started happening to him. It started off with the lights in the room suddenly coming on. It wasn't natural, and he knew it because he was supposed to be the only one there. After getting the shock of his life, he walks around a bit to make sure there's no one there, and the weird things do not stop. After showing it to my team members, one person pointed out that there was indeed something there with him. He stated that at the start of the video, if you pay attention to the door with the exit sign, right before the alarm goes off, you can see it. In the upper right corner, he noticed the door open and, to their shock, someone or something walked into the room. After reviewing the clip several times, I realized he was indeed right, but the big question is, what was that? And why was it in there with the man? This is something I guess we'll never truly know. One thing we can be sure about, though, is that this is an encounter he will never forget. Humans often discuss the pressing crisis of climate change and environmental degradation, yet we overlook how our actions are continually exacerbating these issues. This scene, for example, shows a once pristine mountain area now buried under heaps of trash and even human waste. Despite the efforts of individuals in protective suits working to clean up the mess, the task is daunting, especially in such a remote and challenging environment. Shockingly, this location is none other than Mount Everest. Once revered as the crown jewel of nature, it's now become a glaring symbol of human neglect. Visitors and climbers leave behind litter as if the natural beauty of this iconic peak holds no value, transforming it into what looks like a refuse dump instead of a majestic wonder. So, while humans fight for survival against crisis, we're often the creators of the very dangers we face. How can we protect the Earth if we keep treating it like this? Just in case you were wondering what this is, it's Waldo, the advanced surveillance system concept often associated with military or intelligence operations. It typically refers to a highly sophisticated system that integrates artificial intelligence, facial recognition, and real-time data processing to monitor and track individuals or objects across large areas. The name Waldo is sometimes metaphorically derived from the game Where's Waldo, emphasizing its ability to locate specific individuals in crowded or complex environments. The Waldo surveillance system, like similar advanced technologies, integrates AI, real-time data processing, facial recognition, and predictive analytics to monitor and track individuals, often for public safety or military purposes. While it offers benefits like crime prevention, search and rescue, and national security, it raises significant ethical concerns. These include privacy erosion, potential misuse by authoritarian regimes, racial and gender biases in AI, and the chilling effect on freedoms of expression and assembly. To put it in perspective, Waldo can extract vast amounts of information by linking facial recognition to databases, tracking cell phones via GPS, Wi-Fi, or cell towers, and even intercepting communications or metadata like call logs and texting habits. They can analyze behavior patterns, predict future movements, and map social networks to cross-referencing interactions. Scary, right? To balance its utility and ethics, strong regulations, transparency, bias mitigation, and strict data protection are essential, ensuring it serves society without infringing on fundamental rights. While CGI is prevalent nowadays and almost anything can be edited, this particular piece of footage from China has been making the rounds, sparking debates about whether it's real or digitally altered. The video shows a lightning strike behaving in an unnatural way. In the first clip, you can see the lightning cutting through the sky until it reaches just in front of a building. Then, in a sudden flash of light, something strange happens. From another angle, a different clip provides a clearer view of the incident. From the second angle, it almost looks like the lightning strike came from a source, say a flying source. The first thing that came to mind was that an alien ship may have shot from it. From the second angle, it looks like a beam from a spaceship. If you've watched a lot of alien movies, you know what I mean. As much as I want this to be true, not everyone in the community is buying it. Some skeptics believe the footage could be fake, possibly manipulated with special effects. However, since multiple clips from various sources captured the same event, others argue that it's unlikely to be fabricated. Could this be an incredibly rare natural phenomenon, or is it just another example of digital trickery? Remember back during the pandemic when 5G towers were popping up everywhere? People were so suspicious of them that some even went as far as burning them down, believing they were somehow connected to the spread of COVID-19. Well, guess what? The government has found some pretty interesting ways to hide these 5G transmitters in plain sight. This man has been going around exposing just how cleverly these towers are disguised. Take a look at this streetlight. It looks normal, right? But when he removes the cover, there's a 5G transmitter hidden in it. And it doesn't stop there. That water tower is actually housing 5G equipment. And that pine tree, not so natural. It's got a 5G setup hidden inside, planted by T-Mobile, a major telecom company. These 5G transmitters are everywhere, and most of us don't even realize it. Some are concerned about this because of the frequencies they claim these towers emit. To them, we're basically living inside a giant microwave. If that's the truth, it's hard to say with all the mixed information out there.
Let's see what's inside. This is an LED 5G streetlight. This is a 5G cellular tower disguised as a water tower. You can tell it's a pine tree planted by T-Mobile because of the way that it is. This particular Itron smart meter has a special feature. That's suspicious.
I'd do that. Oprah did.
Yeah, Oprah did it. All right, so here, we're gonna rub it right in.
How come it's red?
I'll show you in a sec, Steve. But so it's made from human foreskin. I'm sorry, Steve.
How far would you go to look young? Before you answer, allow me to tell you how far the rich and powerful will go. Now, beauty trends have been a part of our human history. While it's evolved over time, trends involving the rich and powerful always tend to look, satanic and ritualistic. Take this scene from Steve Harvey's TV show where he's been given something to apply to his face. Can you guess what it is? Well, it turns out it's made from human foreskin. Weird, right? I know what you're thinking. Maybe it's an isolated incident. Well, believe me, I wish it were, but it's not. Here's Sandra Bullock on The Ellen Show with something similar. This one is a bit more specific. It's from a Korean baby's foreskin, and yes, they apply it to their skins, including their faces. As disturbing as this sounds, it's not the only bizarre thing they do. There's also a procedure where they take blood from a person's arm, take the platelets from the blood, and then inject it into their faces. This use of blood didn't start today, however. They've always used the blood of the healthy and strong to keep themselves young. At least that's what they believe. Recently, some have been on the news for injecting blood from healthy young teens as a way of achieving immortality. Frankly, this scares me. In the beginning, I asked how far you would go. Did your answer look anything like this?
Okay, let's talk about this facial that you're obsessed with.
It is an extraction from a piece of skin that came from a young person far, far away, and they somehow figured out how to extract.
It's foreskin from a Korean baby. That's what it is.
Are those shooting stars? What are those?
Look up, everybody, look up!
This video from Turks and Caicos captures a breathtaking and mysterious scene. In the night sky, glowing orbs with shimmering trails were spotted moving gracefully, resembling a string of celestial lights. The orbs appeared almost too surreal, like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. Yet, as stunned onlookers watched and recorded, it became clear this was happening in real life. In the background of the footage, you can hear people reacting in awe and disbelief, speculating about what they're witnessing. Some have suggested it could be meteor showers due to the glowing trails, while others believe it might have been something more extraordinary, like an extraterrestrial phenomenon or an unexplained atmospheric event. Multiple clips from different angles confirm that this was not a hoax. So what do you think this glowing spectacle was?
Look up, everybody, look up!
What the? Oh my God.
This was supposed to have captured by a group of stargazers who just wanted a peaceful night under the stars. But instead of quiet, mesmerizing views of the cosmos, they ended up witnessing something that looked more like intergalactic battle. Bright lights of different colors streaked across the sky, flashing and shifting in ways that defied explanation. I've watched the clips multiple times, and a part of me really wants to believe this is real. The movement, the intensity, the sheer spectacle of it all, it's just hard to ignore. But with AI-generated visuals becoming more advanced, it's not impossible to question it. Maybe it's an atmospheric phenomenon, maybe it's something else entirely, or maybe, just maybe, it's nothing at all. I'm not sure what to think, so I'm turning this over to you. What do you guys make of it?
What the? Oh my god.
Mira. No mames, ve. ¿Ve eso? Mames, eso está bien cabrón.
No manches, pa. No. Mira. Ay, Dios mío. Dios mío.
No te pases de lanza.
I know that there are a lot of mysteries out there, but this is a scene I wouldn't want a chance on. The uploader of the footage claims they were driving through a remote area one evening when they noticed something ahead of them. Thinking it was an animal, they slowed down so they wouldn't hit it. In slowing down, however, they noticed a human lying there with another being or set of beings looking down on it. It's not clear what they were doing, but what's certainly clear is that they were harming the individual. In what exact way, we can't tell. The clip ends shortly and the individual doesn't let us know what they did after. I would have turned around and driven the hell away if it was just the entities, but we also see an innocent human lying there. My mind would have been all over the place trying to come up with an escape plan. We concluded that whatever that was, it was a demon. While we were discussing, Julius walked in his usual skeptical self and then watched the clip for a while and then said it was fake. He also mentioned that there were enough individuals in the video to fit into one car. Per his analysis, these guys drove into the area, changed into their costumes, and then set up the scene to make it look like the way it does. Well, we all laughed at his skepticism when he said it, but then the more we thought about it, the more we realized he's probably right, which, quite frankly, scared us even more. If Julius is making atheists out of us, that thought alone is a scary one.
La bestia. ¿Qué es esa madre? Mira. ¿Cómo le está haciendo Naomi? Hay que pasarle por encima. Le pasaría por encima, pero está el señor ahí.
No te pases.
Miren.
Moving on from strange sounds in the ground to sounds in the sky.
Oh my god.
We've got this clip captured by a woman in Pennsylvania depicting something strange in the sky at night. It looks like a drone with bright lights, but that doesn't make it any less mysterious, as what truly caught her attention wasn't the lights, but the sound from the object. The noise resembled that of massive propellers echoing loudly despite the craft being quite distant. What's even more intriguing is how similar this sound is to the strange noises people have reported hearing from the sky in recent years. While many speculate that eerie sky sounds could be alien-related, this footage raises another possibility. Could this be human-made craft, and are they responsible for these unexplained noises? Hard to say, but looking at this, I think I may need your opinions. This grotesque-looking figure was recently discovered in Egypt, and it's unlike any ordinary mummy ever found. At first glance, it appears humanoid, but the features tell a different story. The preserved face has a reptilian texture, scaly, and the mouth area shows sharp fang-like teeth still visible beneath the wrinkled remains. There's something almost terrifying in its expression. Researchers claim it's one of the several mummified hybrids unearthed in a forgotten burial chamber. What makes this even more fascinating is how it connects to ancient Egyptian art. The walls of old temples and tombs often show beings that are part human, part animal, some with serpent-like heads and elongated skulls.
So the question is this just symbolic art? Or could these creatures have actually been around during the ancient times? Maybe the Anunnaki who built the pyramids, etc., etc. You know, I'm just putting the conspiracy theories out there, because why not? But with that, we end today's episode. Thank you for staying with us. Before you go with our clips and videos you think we should have featured by now that we haven't, well, the good news is you can share them with us and we'll post them crediting you. Please send any such footage, including ones you recorded yourself, to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing and include it in our next episode. We can't wait to receive what you have. I've been Steve. This has been Classified Captures. Now do me a favor. Can you send this video to one person you love, 100 people that you love? Just send it out to the whole world. That'd be good. And I will see you in the next one.